Hey scientists, how you doing? This is Miss Wilkerson. Welcome to Wilkerson's Wonders. Today we're going to be talking about zombies and brains and cell phones. Okay, so all things that you like. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit along the way. All right, so we know zombies like to eat brains, and zombies are not stupid. Okay, they're choosing the best part of the body, the most important part of our body, the part that makes everything go. So they're actually picking off the menu rather well. All right, so let's talk about what I'm wondering about today. Not just zombies and, the make-believe eating of brains, but I'm wondering about brains and how they would connect, like, what does a cell phone have to do with my brain? All right, so cell phones, as you guys know, because you love these things, cell phones have an operating system. They also have a bunch of apps that we choose and we like to play with and do things with. But the cell phone operating system is kind of similar to how the brain operates our body. The operating system makes sure the calendar and the date is changing. They make sure the time, like even if you're going from like one time zone to another, it changes automatically. Our brain has an operating system too. It basically uses all the nerves and the signals that it's sending out through the nerves to keep all the basic things going. Do you have to think to breathe? Do you have to think to digest food? Do you have to think to have your heartbeat? No. Your brain, the operating system in your brain is running all of this stuff for you. How nice is that? All right, so the apps are more like the actions that we control, the things that we choose to do. Okay, so like I'm choosing to talk to you. It's something that I am doing, I'm controlling through my brain. Now it still sends all the signals out through the nerves so that my body does those things, but that's something that I'm going to do that's more like a choice. All right, so let's talk about how this nervous system is set up. The brain is the most important part, obviously. We get that. But our brain has kind of a different role. It keeps your body alive. It sends out all those signals to help you do what you want to do, but it's also constantly taking in information from outside of your body, okay? We suspect Google does that through our phones because we get all these ads that come up that, I was talking about that in front of my cell phone. Creepy. But our brain is constantly processing everything that's going on around that. And the way it does that is through our senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Remember in episode 102, I said that our skin was a big part of helping us make sense of things? It absolutely is. Okay, like I know this is a cell phone because I know what a cell phone feels like. My hands and my skin gives that signal to the nerves, which sends it up to the brain. Okay, so our brain is using the sensory organs in order to make sense of the information it's processing. So the sensory organs for sight is our eyes, right? Our eyeballs. For hearing, our ears and the whole system that's in there. For smell, our nose. For taste, our tongue. And then our skin for touch. Okay? Now, think about how fast you can identify something. Like I'm cooking soup right now, and I smell it. Which I don't usually smell a lot because I have a weird sense of smell, but I smell that and my nose is telling my brain that the soup is smelling good. Okay, but think about how fast that stuff happens. Like think about you listening and watching this video. Think about how fast those messages are getting from the sensory organs, your eyes and your ears, to the brain to help you make sense of it. It's amazing. The nervous system is an amazing system and so important. All right, so we've talked about the sensory organs, we talked about our five senses. Let's talk about the brain itself, because the brain itself is actually made up of different parts. We think of it as this gray matter that's between our ears. It is, but it actually has different parts. Okay, so let's talk about those. And you'll read about these in your Pearson assignment, but I'll still talk about them just to make it easier. All right, so the cerebellum is a part of our brain that's kind of in the back, and it helps us with balance and coordination. So if you are roller skating, I know I use this example all the time, But if you're roller skating, that cerebellum is the part that's helping you use all your core and your muscles, your bones to keep that balance. Okay, it helps you play sports. It's very important. The cerebrum is the part with all the feels. The cerebrum has your thoughts, your feelings, what's unique to you. The brain stem is the part that controls those like operating system functions, like breathing and your heartbeat, the stuff that you need to keep this body alive. And then the spinal cord is what is taking the messages from all the different parts of your body to the brain, back and forth. Okay? So your brain wants to tell you to start running. Okay? Brain sends the signal through the nerve endings, the spinal cord, down your legs, and we start running. Okay? If I, take a pot out of the oven and it's hot, my hand sends that signal to the brain, and I can, let go of it so that I don't get injured. All right, so the brain has a lot going on. So those nerves that we're talking about, let's talk about the nerves themselves. Nerves are kind of like wires in a circuit. Do you remember when we learned about circuits? The power source and the wires have to have a loop. That's kind of what happens with your brain. Okay, the nerves are that source of information. It's kind of that highway of the electricity and the signals going up and down from the brain into all the parts of your body. So they're kind of like little messenger, little channels of messenger people, I guess, if I'm thinking too much of cells at work. But anyway, so the nerves help give messages to your brain and help you process that information to keep the body safe from harm. So they're very, very important. And very fast. It's amazing. Like if I pinch myself, I feel that pain from the nerve. The nerve tells me I'm feeling pain, and to the body, to the brain instantly. We are faster than any Wi-Fi system ever invented. Isn't that spectacular? All right, guys. So let's talk about brain health and what can keep your brain running as fast as it should be. Okay, so good sleep is one of them. You got to rest that brain, especially when we're in this pandemic. We're getting exhausted because there's just all this information and it's hard to make sense of it because the times are so strange. So get that good sleep, a healthy diet. I probably will say this on almost everything keeping the body healthy, but it's true. If you're eating Takis nonstop, that's not giving you good brain fuel. Delicious though they are, not good brain fuel. You have to get your proteins and your vitamins and your veggies. Like, if you don't like veggies, start liking them because it's important. And another thing, and this is super cool, if you are bilingual, speak more than one language, your brain is going to be healthier than the average person who only speaks one. Isn't that cool? There's a lot of research out there that studies that say that people who are bilingual, when they get old, their brains are still going to be super active because you have two sets of communication forms in your brain, and your brain is kept like exercising. You have to exercise your brain just like you exercise your body. And people who are bilingual do that naturally. How awesome is that? So if you only speak one language, you might want to look into studying another one. It always helps. All right, guys, so I'm going to get going. I'm going to go eat that soup because I am hungry. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you this week. Bye.